Okay.
Going.
Start by. Are you on? Okay. Start by introducing yourself.
My name is James Robert Gray, or Jim Gray, depends on where you met me or what you care about.
And when did you start skateboarding?
I think it was about 8 or 10, somewhere in that range. First I had a Black Knight with clay wheels, and then I got a Grentech with polyurethane wheels, plastic with ball bearings. And I think it was somewhere 6th or 7th grade.
What year was that?
I got a 6th grade in 76, so probably 75,
Wow.
74 maybe.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm old.
I was 3 years old at that time.
3 years old, damn.
So who were you first sponsored by?
I was first sponsored by a company called Pro-Am. And I don't really know the roots of them. I know they were in Southgate, California. We had a big team thing at Skatopia Skate Park. So I got picked up, watch me skate the half pipe. I met some kid in a backyard half pipe. He said, "You should come try out for our team." And he met me at Skatopia on a Monday night. They used to do team practice there. And so the team guy watched me ride down the half pipe. He goes, "Dude, you're on the team." And that was pretty cool. Like I said, all I know is they were from Southgate. And I assume maybe it was something to do with Sure Grip, because Sure Grip was from Southgate.
Okay.
And I don't know if maybe they did that name before they called themselves Sure Grip, because I didn't know of anybody else in Southgate. And these people made their own trucks, and so they're like a manufacturer, but they sort of just fizzled away. So I never really knew what happened to Pro-Am. I was only 13 or 14, so I didn't pay that much attention.
Right.
The strangest thing about that is about, 15 years ago, I got a subpoena out of the blue from someone suing Pro-Am Industries or whatever, like a worker, and I think he was suing for contamination or something like that, or some chemical thing, and they're calling me as a witness, and I just wrote him a letter. I go, "Dude, I was a 13-year-old kid they gave free skateboards to. I don't even think I ever set foot in the building." I go, "If you want to waste, you already wasted money sending me a subpoena. How you even found me, I don't know, but I couldn't tell you anything. I mean, you might have found my name in a drawer somewhere. Someone found some old file box." And so that was a very interesting thing to my start in skateboarding. So they were my first sponsor. My next sponsor was Powerflex, which I currently own. I'm the majority owner of Powerflex. I was probably 15 when I wrote for Powerflex.
Okay.
And then one of the owners about 10 years ago was kind of bugging me about doing it again, and it wasn't really time. And about 4 or 5 years ago, he said, "Hey, my brothers want to get involved and help, and we're going to relaunch Powerflex." And so he kind of made me an offer to help them, and it made sense. So okay. So
They just manufacture boards, or
back then they made boards and wheels. Powerflex was a huge wheel. No, they were. The original Powerflex was a guy named Bob Ballou, who was my partner here. He's the one who started, but he had 2 money guys that were like a machine shop, and they were the money behind it. But they kind of did a wacky deal with him, where he was supposed to own a third, and blah blah. And he found that he owned 10%, and he said "Hey, we got to fix this," and they said no. And he said, "Well, okay, I own the trademark," so went to court and got an injunction and shut the brand down. And it was so that's how it ended. That's how Powerflex ended in 1979 or 80.
Okay.
And at that point I got on GNS, but so Powerflex just basically disappeared. It wasn't out of business. It was one of the best companies ever. It came out with red, yellow, blue, green, orange, black, all these wheels when the only wheels were red. You had red wheels and I think a couple orange wheels.
Right.
So they actually brought color to skateboarding, which is kind of cool.
Who were some of the other riders you rode with at GNS?
Well, GNS, my team, I have a poster I'm on, which is Chris Miller, Neil Blender, Billy Ruff, and me, which was
what a team.
What could you?
I think I remember that.
I was the low man on the totem pole on a freaking, super hierarchy of people. So, yeah, when I ever see that in my house, that poster, I'm like, yeah, that was pretty cool.
When did you feel you were the lowest on the totem pole in that?
My approach was always different. Most of those guys lived for skateboarding at some point.
Right.
They lived off skateboarding.
Right.
They earned a living skateboarding. To me, skateboarding was always a side thing.
Sure.
I just skateboarded. I got my real estate license when I was 18. I was the head of underwriting for a mortgage company when I was 21.
Sure.
And sometimes I would show up with a suit and tie on after work and take my suit and tie off and skate. Those guys would go to a contest in Florida on Monday and skate all week. I'd show up Friday afternoon, and get 10 runs and then just enter the contest, and so it was sort of, as I get older, I realized some of these guys, I rode pipes really good, and I kind of crack up to see, Miller and Salvin, all those guys are really good at pipes, but I go, you know what, as close I come to art on their tails in pipes, they rode 1,000 hours for every one I did in that pipe. I go, you guys should be way better than me. So it's actually, so I give myself a little bit of credit. So low man on the totem pole, but hey, relative. I held my ground. So.
How are we doing over there? You want to stop and so we can change the clip?